Okay, so I have finally updated my portfolio and it's time to show you the new look. I'm going to give you an idea of how I put it together and my thought process there. And if you stay to the end, I'm also going to give you some tips on what you should put in your portfolio, what will help you when you're trying to stand out as clients look for your work. Let's get it. So I just have a little reel going right here with the different work that I've done. So it's a quick snapshot for clients when they're looking. Now, if we scroll down here, we have some more of my work. And with this, I pretty much just want to show everything in a horizontal kind of stage because I wanted to make sure that clients could scroll down and see the different companies that I've worked with, but also be able to click and learn more. I usually like to stay with 10 or less projects. I included this 11th one just because it was a differentiation between another project I did with the same client, and I wanted to just show that branding aspect. But typically 10 or less is pretty good, and what you can do is just interchange those as you go along and put your best work out there. So if we go to the top and click menu, you'll have a spot for portfolio. I also have web and app stuff that I do with another company and a way just to connect with me as well. Or you can simply just go and see more, and that'll bring you into the actual project breakdown. So this is just a project for Netflix for David Letterman's My Next Guest. Needs no introduction. And I pretty much just break down a quick idea of what this is for the task. And then I get right here into my role and I just break that down a sentence or two, just so they get an idea of what your role was for that project, how much flexibility you had with your creation process and different things like that. I kind of have just breakdowns on this side of how I actually put these things together. So I wanted to give like a snapshot of what my mind was thinking when I was creating it. And then we'll get down to the problem and the outcome. And here I like to add the problem because it can be shown through your work, but it's important to kind of just think, what are the things that you were thinking and what are the ideas that you had to come up with to solve those problems? So I think that's a good idea for when clients are really trying to figure out if they can hire you. If you can talk about your work, it's going to make them elevate you in their process of who they're looking for. And then down here is just the outcome. So I just kind of give a short blurb. This project was seen by an estimated 180 million people. And this is one of the first things I did with Netflix. So they kind of gave me a little congratulations message like, yo, this is going to be seen by a lot of people. So it's kind of a full circle moment for me coming from a college student, just kind of trying to figure things out to actually working with these big brands. You know, it was a humbling process. And this is the outcome. And for me, I just wanted to show one outcome image. And then I had more like a collage right here. The thing with this is though, is that especially working with Netflix or certain companies, I have over 1,000 files with Netflix alone. So I try to just incorporate a few of those, whether it's just key art when you're scrolling through Netflix, or if it's billboard designs, or if it is kind of stuff that you're going to see on tablets and phones and stuff like that. Here's some work that I did for Puma, and this was for their Puma Run event. And I was just pretty much creating like some virtual space for like, it's almost like a website, but it was a website that's only going to be used for this one event. So I did the website and I did some branding graphics as well. This is another cool project to be a part of because I am a fitness guy. I like to be into that realm and stuff. I did like 7 years of baseball, 4 years of football. So yeah, it was cool to be a part of this. Here's another project that I was a part of. This is with YSL and Lenny Kravitz. And it was pretty much just the announcement of Lenny being the face of Y by YSL. So this is the male fragrance. I'm pretty sure some of you have seen this. This is a pretty dope fragrance. I actually have it myself. And this is the stuff they mailed out to everyone. You get your VIP badges. They gave you cologne. They gave you a nice box and kind of a letter and all this different things like that. So I put all those assets together and it was a dope project to be a part of. And to say you did something that Lenny Kravitz saw, that's not a bad look at all. I'll just fly through some of these. This is Showtime. This is some stuff I did for Shameless. This was the last season of Shameless. So they kind of want to bring pasty pies to real life. I actually have not seen this series, but this was interesting to be a part of. Kind of like just diving into it from someone that's not a fan of it. And this is what we came up with. So they had different character ones and it was cool. It was cool to be a part of that. So something that I wanted to know here is that it's important to show your work, but make sure you show the work that you want to be hired for. So all of us designers and creators, we have a lot in our portfolio. Some that's just not going to make the cut because we don't want it to make the cut. But just keep in mind that the work that you show is going to be the work that you are going to get hired for. So there's certain things that I'm proud of. I'm just not showing them anymore because I don't want to do those type of projects. I'm not as passionate about those. Speaking of Hired, if you want to hear more about how I make good money with design, it'll be on the screen somewhere, and I'll have a link down below in the comments. So some tips when it comes to actually creating your portfolio. First of all, get with a website builder of some sort and kind of customize it to your liking. There's so many different website builders out there, but the number one thing to remember is to use a custom domain. People often refer to me as Jay Burke or Jay, so I'd rather kind of use that branding moving forward, but we'll see what happens with that. But custom domain is good. Also, make sure you have your contact info on your website. I know that seems chill and simple, but just having a link to your email is cool, but having an actual contact form has really saved my career and really kind of kept me going after 13 years. And it's important to do that because it streamlines a lot of things when you have a budget on your actual form. That lets you know what you're working with already off the top, and then it just eases the conversation a bit more. Money talk can get kind of interesting, so having a budget line that they have to fill in makes things a bit easier when it comes down to it. The last important piece of your portfolio is it should elevate and show off your style. So everyone's always working through their styles and kind of figuring it out, and honestly, it'll change over the years. But it's important to show who you are and your style just by going to your website. If you like that sleek look, or if you're more artsy with it, if you're getting more into animation and just kind of having things fly all over the page, show who you are. And that's it. That sums up my portfolio. That's pretty much all I want to show, and give you some tips on how you can help with yours and kind of curating it for your own self. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. All those things help this small channel that I'm building right now. It's going to grow. It's going to grow. We're going to grow as a community, and we're going to create and share different ideas together. Let's do it. It's Jay Burke. That's all I got. See you later.